Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 235 of Sold with Updike Pugh.
I'm Jeff Updike.
I'm Weston Pugh. Today we have a great show. We decided to take a tour down to Cesar, Chavez, and look at this amazing townhome we've got listed.
And in our second segment today, we're going to talk about what to do in the Dallas farmers market.
Besides sweat?
Besides sweat. We're going to actually talk about places that you don't sweat when you're there.
Well, those are important places right now because it'll be 105 today, I believe.
Yep.
That's pretty warm.
It was 120 in Palm Springs 3 days ago. With some clients moving here from Palm Springs, and they were talking about the next day it was going to be 120 degrees.
I love Palm Springs, but that weather, it seems extreme to me. Death Valley may record a record this week sometime for, 125 degrees?
Mm-hmm. The worldwide record was set yesterday at in Iran with 152 degrees. I'm sorry.
That's the heat index.
It was a heat index, excuse me, 152 degrees with heat index.
Still, Jeff, that is dangerous.
Nutso.
That is dangerous. Well, you know what else is hot? We found some articles that we thought we'd like to share with you, kind of like Jay Leno used to do back in the day. And the first one is going to be by the New York Times. And this is a really interesting article. It's funny because as we were getting ready for the show, Zach, our producer, actually said, I actually threw this out on your page. And I said, last week, I am so glad we are all on the same page. It makes me feel better, like we're working together. But this is the farmhouse. Love them or leave them. They are here to stay. Jeff, do you love them?
They serve a purpose in the market. I don't know that I would want to live in one. It's just not my style to live in. I do appreciate it. I do feel like that, there's a lot of them out there now. It's, they, like this article says, they're today's McMansion.
I feel like a lot of people just throw everything into that bucket in that category, and they just call it this.
In McMansion or in the farmhouse?
Farmhouse. Yeah. I think that it just because the house is painted white doesn't make it a farmhouse, but somehow this article kind of leans that direction. I will say, just like you, I feel like a lot of the buyers today, it seems to work with the way families live. Multi-generational, with or without kids, it all seems to play out. Open spaces, I think, are the big thing, and the heart of the home, they've really focused it with it being the kitchen.
Yeah, they really have, and a lot of the farmhouses, just like this one, where they've got that covered front porch, they're continuing that and creating the outdoor living spaces with them as well, which the McMansions did not do. The McMansions usually had like a 8x8 slab of concrete out there, and that was your back porch.
And I wonder if we're going to see the demise of media rooms. They don't make sense to me all the time, but it was very interesting because the new home construction we just put under contract in McLennan Chisholm, they had a media room, but it was on the first floor. I thought that was really interesting. So who knows? Another one of the articles that we thought was really interesting, and this one is really local. This one was written by WFAA, and this is talking about Dallas City Council bans short-term rentals and Airbnb in residential areas. How do you feel about that?
Not happy about it.
Why?
I think they way overstepped on it. Anytime that a municipality starts taking private property rights away, I get upset about it, and I feel like this is it was passed over a very small segment of that market that was having problems, and instead of fixing that.
So what if they grandfathered everybody and just said moving forward, no?
It's still not fixing that. I mean, that's the thing that needs to be fixed, and it needs to be fixed by Airbnb and VBRO or VRBO, and in cooperation with the municipality to solve those. I mean, if you've got somebody who wants to rent a big house for one night, I mean, that ought to be a bright red flag.
I would agree with that.
It's just that.
It's going to be a party.
Yes. I mean, maybe, anyway, I'm sure there's always going to be, some segment of it. There's still going to be problems with it.
Oh, there'll be litigation on this thing.
Yeah.
It is on the horizon.
I think that in New Orleans, they approached this from the correct standpoint, which was, if you live in the property, if the property owner lives in the property, you can do Airbnbs in the French Quarter.
I would agree with that because you're going to be there monitoring it immediately.
We've stayed in a couple of Airbnbs when we've gone for Mardi Gras or whatever, and I don't know. It seemed like that would have been a much better answer than I think a lot of the council people were trying to satisfy very vocal members of their voting base, and that's all that was. I think they know it was the wrong decision.
The other thing, and it's a slim vote at 7-8.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
You know, the other thing too is they had I don't think there were probably as many investors as there were homeowners that actually came and spoke that night. You know, so. Well, we will see how this plays out. I am sure this is not the last time we're going to talk about this.
Nope.
One of the other things that we thought was really interesting, and this is just kind of for fun, this is must-have kitchen essentials. This is actually on Twitter. We found this with the Container Store, and this is really interesting because it is a 2-in-1, a twofer. As
A twofer.
Say. A twofer. So here you go. The only thing I think would make this better is if it actually mounted to the inside of a cabinet drawer, so it actually didn't have to sit on the countertop. That's just me, and that's how I like my kitchen. You know that. You don't say anything else. These are great products. If you've got one that you want us to feature, let us know. I'm back, Jeff.
You are.
I am back. Let's talk about some market watch. What we're
Okay.
going to do now is take a look at the last 7 days in Dallas County and talk about what is happening. Throw away all the headlines that you're seeing nationally, and let's really zero in. And if you like this information, we can zero in even tighter for you.
We can. Coming soon. This is the first status in MLS that a lot of properties go into. You don't have to put them in there. You can go right to active. But coming soon listings were down 20% in the last week, down 17 to 69 coming soons. New active listings were up by 8%. There were 493 new active listings that came on the market. You can see the comparison between the number of coming soons and the number of actives. So only about 15% of the new listings came into that coming soon category. And then the option period. Option period is the first status that a contract goes under normally, and those were down about 6% to 334.
So the next status, after everything has been agreed upon within that option period, we're going to move into pending, and that's actually down 10% to 137 units, for it's 15 versus last week. And solds, that's up 7% to 344 units, and that's a really big jump because we were actually down 35% last week. So good numbers there. Mortgage rates, they are a little bit higher. They inched up. It's been pretty volatile. We've talked to Jeremy just the other day, and rates have really bounced. They have hugged in at 6.77. That's from Optimal Blue. Great information on there. Plenty of information about FHA, jumbos, gives you all of that information. Plus, click on those graphs, and you can actually project the history of what has happened.
Interesting.
Lots of great stuff, and like we
Can
said,
you tell the future?
you know what? If they could, I need the lotto numbers with the Powerball. Let's get this. Oh, mercy.
If we only knew.
Jeff, tell us about this house, this wonderful little home.
So we have this really great listing at 573 South Cesar Chavez that we're going to look at today. It is in the farmers market townhome area. This is such a great walkable neighborhood to live in. We're going to talk in our second segment about all the different places you can walk to that are right around there. But if you're a commuter and you commute into downtown, you can ride a bike to work. I mean, it is it is so easy. If you're a commuter that works in Frisco, let's say, or you work out in Richardson, getting onto freeways running north, south, east, and west is a total breeze.
I would agree with everything you're saying. I don't think that they're, you've got the airports as well, which are just a hop, skip, and a jump away, just head north. That makes it easy. This is really one of those, leave your car keys on the desk for the weekend, because everything is right there where you want it. And one of the things that has developed in this area, it's called the East Quarter, and this is a really great concept. I love the way that downtown Dallas has done a great job of like bringing in different areas. And this one right here is really probably, I think it's probably the newest, East Quarter right here. I think we've got a link to that. And this will actually show you some of the elements that are in there as far as dining, what was the different parks that are also coming up and that are there. Plus, it's got the farmers market as its anchor.
Yeah, this East Quarter is a relatively new term that I guess they've used it very smartly, I think, in kind of dividing those neighborhoods in downtown and actually giving them a little bit of character. East Quarter's got some really great restaurants in it. Are we going to talk about was it the National?
National Anthem is
National
one
Anthem,
of the great restaurants that is just there on the corner. This is actually This one we wanted to highlight because as we like to talk about lots of things Dallas, and this is an entrepreneur restaurant group that actually has several neighborhood service being their original one. This is a great iconic building. If you've been in downtown, you know exactly where this is. And Jeff, if you haven't been there,
I have been.
You have?
Yeah.
Don't you love the fact that they have Japanese vodka on tap at 32 degrees?
32 degrees, yep.
Come on, shake those martinis. That is a great place, great food. One of the things I think that all of these restaurants have in common is a very high customer service. So I think going here, if you've got guests from out of town, they're really going to be impressed.
And this is not a fancy restaurant.
No, it's
I mean,
a family
it's very nice, but it is not fancy like you would expect at a Bob's Steak and Chop House. But the service is the level of
R&D.
Yeah, R&D, definitely.
And here's the funny thing is that I can always spot who these if this is a restaurant part, like go to Montlake, go to the neighborhood services, the bathrooms have iconic like elements in there that are always the same in each one of their restaurants.
Interesting.
Yeah, so it is cool.
Very smart.
Yeah.
Building brand.
And they have done a great job.
So the house we're going to talk about today is a really great 3-story townhome that's located at 573 South Cesar Chavez Boulevard. And this is a very iconic style of architecture, much like
Brownstone.
much like the American Airlines Center, the old Arlington Park. It's just got that really great urban vibe to it.
And they used the brick on the outside, and they did a great job because it just has stood the test of time. Downstairs, I love the fact that you've got double doors that open to this room, and we've got this set up as like the workout flex space. Easy to see this as a work from home. There's also some built-in cabinets just to the facing there, and it's got a full bathroom downstairs as well. You also have a 2-car garage that connects just into this area, which is really great. And coming upstairs, you have a really great open floor plan.
And it's really very warm. The wood floors in this were continued first, second, and third floor, which not all those have. 12-foot ceilings on this level, already pre-wired for the Bose surround system that is going to stay with the home. Really great space flexibility in terms of flexibility, just in how you get to put things together.
Yeah, so you've got a dining easy space set here. You also have a little kitchen island right there that can seat 3. As you see, there's plenty of countertop space and lots of great cabinets. Those are 42-inch cabinets. If you wanted to add a few more, go for it. This refrigerator is also included with this at the correct price. And this has gas. There are so many townhomes and condos that do not have gas. This is one of those.
And this is the master bedroom, a really great sized bedroom. I think this is 17 by 15, if I'm not mistaken. 2 walk-in closets. Again, you've got the really high ceilings on this floor, so the room feels very voluminous, but isn't oversized.
And one of the great things about this that is not featured in this is a great skylight. Not lots of great light. You can see here you're going to have a tub and also a walk-in shower. This is bedroom number 2, just down the hall. One of the things I want to point out is there are no shared walls, which is really great. So if you need a roommate, this is a perfect place for them. They also have a walk-in shower, and this is on the front side. Has a walk-in closet as well, and then look what we have on the 4th floor.
Really great rooftop deck. This has water plumbed up here, and it has gas plumbed up here, which again is not all that common to find. And you've got kind of a somewhat screen view of downtown, but you do still get the vibe from the lights and the drama that comes with living downtown.
And this is a community that does have a pool. You can see a little shelf right there to tan on. Water features as well. This is really great because it is kind of private. You have to know where this is because it is all tucked into the buildings. But as you can see here, lots of great lounging. This is an amazing place.
So 573 South Cesar Chavez Boulevard is a 3-bedroom, 2 full bath, 1 half bath, 2-car attached garage that has a level 2 EV charger in it. These are built in 2014, which is the last set of them that was built. It's about 2,255 square feet, priced at $795, and that is $352 a square foot.
That's right. So if this is a great house for you, look in the comments. You'll be able to go through them as you like, share them with your friends and family, zoom in out on that map. If you'd like to take a look at it, let us know, and we'd be happy to make that happen.
And with that, we'll be right back.
Did you know there are a lot of ways you can keep up with us?
For starters, every Wednesday at noon, we host Sold with Updike Pugh, live from our Facebook and YouTube channels. Our show is dedicated to featuring some of the best homes in the Dallas market and about sharing timely information about market trends. But don't worry if you miss the show, because you can always listen to them on SoundCloud, iTunes, and Spotify.
Still want more? Follow us on Instagram, where you get a first-hand look at what it's like to be a realtor. It's not always previewing homes for clients or getting them ready to go live in MLS. Lastly, visit our website and you'll be able to create a custom home search tailored specifically to your wants and needs that's timely and accurate. Whether it's square foot, location, or the neighborhood, we have you covered.
If you'd like to know how much your home is worth, we can help with that too. Just visit homeprice.fyi, enter a few pieces of information like your home address, and we'll email you a price. When you're ready to talk real estate, you can reach us online, by phone, or by text at 214-377-2223.
And remember, we want to be realtors for life.
Hi everybody, welcome to the second segment, episode 235 of Sold with Updike Pugh. I'm Jeff Updike.
I'm Weston Pugh. Today, we thought we'd take a look at what to do in farmers market.
Farmers market is an area that has gone through some real gyrations over the course of, I don't know, the last, I've lived here 40 years. It's certainly gone through gyrations over the 40 years.
Oh, 100%. I can't remember. Was this part of the Obama stimulus package that actually was used to help develop this?
I don't know.
I know they did Stevens Park, but it seemed like there was something, or the city gave money and they have created, because we wanted to take a look at the history of where this all started, and it was really great. We found some interesting black and white pictures of what it used to look like back in the day. And this was actually a humble beginning. It was a horse and wagon wholesale business. And you can see here, these pictures look like they're from the 60s, maybe even
50s, I think.
But there's a really great history back here. And even when I first moved to Dallas and lived in downtown Dallas, none of this new concept was here. And I remember going there and buying pole beans. And I remember being so enamored by the fact that it was just all the local vendors that had brought it. But to me, I thought it was like going to be this giant heaping quart. But the deal is they put another smaller container on there and it mounds. And then they just dumped the mound in. So it wasn't the mound plus the container. And I just kind of was like,
A little false advertising there.
well, everybody has marketing these days, don't they?
But you know, the farmers market is, Zach brought this up earlier, and he was asking if there was any connection to the FTM, which is the farm to market roads. And you know, we've got a lot of farm to market roads in Texas, and I think he's probably correct that this was the meeting point for everybody to come and sell what they had to sell, but buy what they needed to buy.
And it is interesting because this is what it looked like then, and the now look is amazing. It is a real different. It is actually the same facility. They've named it now The Shed, and it has a really different look. And as you can see here in this video, there's a lot different today with a lot more artisanal elements.
Yes, lots of nuts, lots of honey, lots of jams, all kinds of things like that, in addition to a lot of fresh vegetables.
Absolutely. You can get bobo tea here. It is packed, Jeff, and I don't know if it was because this weekend it was cloudy and overcast, but farmers market was thumping.
Yeah.
People were everywhere. And there's really, it's a very, I want to say diverse. There's lots of pets. There's live music from time to time being played here. The other thing too is if you go to the website, they have a really easy peasy way to actually become a vendor and join this.
Interesting. I didn't read that.
I actually have a friend who does ceramics and does that out there.
Oh, really? That's
pretty well
smart. Yeah, that's very smart.
If you wanted to do that.
So the other part of the farmers market, now this is the open air pavilion part. The other part has now been, it's called the
market.
The market, thank you. Gosh, it slipped away. This is a climate controlled building that means it's air conditioned, that has all kinds of vendor booths or restaurant booths. It's got a great mix of some artisan stuff. There's Bullzerk t-shirts is there.
And you know, it's interesting to me because I don't think they serve alcohol out on the shed, But I think TABC, because they can regulate this more as a permanent venue, there's lots of craft beer here. At one of the counters, Rex is set up, and Rex is a really great seafood. And isn't it your favorite taco place, Zach, in here? Taco La Ventana. We like it too. It's really good. One of the interesting facts too is 8 Clove, which you and I love. 8 Clove. 8 Clove actually expanded and went into the old Hattie's in Bishop Art District, and they started what's called Amy's, and it's a French Indian cuisine, and it is superb.
And this is a really clean environment. This is a really busy day. It's the times we've been there during the week, even at lunch, it's not quite this packed. I'm sure this is probably a weekend video, but it feels very safe, very secure, very family oriented. Take your kids. Don't let them scream and run around by themselves. But it's a really warm, welcoming place.
It is. Take your pets. It's wonderful. I will say this, parking can be a little bit of a challenge. So plan a little bit ahead and also plan for time for that. It is a little bit different. One of the other things that was here before any of this development grew up was actually this wonderful nursery, and I'm going to butcher the name. It's Ruibel's Plants. And this is almost on 2 blocks.
Yeah.
And
Takes
I have
up
to
almost
say,
2 full city blocks.
people from across Dallas come here, and there are, as you can see here, there are indoor markets with indoor plants, succulents that are amazing, and really great outdoor plants as well. This right here is one of the unique features. They allow you to pick your plants, pick your pot, and then assemble it here, which is really great if you are urban living.
And I really enjoy going there. I feel like they have some of the broadest selection of different flowers for different seasons. And I always feel like the quality of the plant that I'm getting there is really great.
We actually bought outdoor plants for our yard from this location because they had such a great selection. It was called the dwarf palmettos, and we didn't kill them. They're still alive.
Wow.
So,
They have another location that's right over by my house here on Lemon Avenue.
Yeah.
It's not this expansive, but same quality of plants, same level of service. I've gone in there a couple of different times and asked for something a little bit early, and they're much more able to tell you when something is coming in, as opposed to like going to Lowe's or Home Depot where a truck shows up and unloads whatever was sent.
absolutely. So you need to check this out. It is a wonderful place. It's one of my favorite places to go in the spring because they do such a good job with the pansies. We don't get great springs here, but I feel like our nurseries do. So take advantage of these and go drink in all this wonderful, beautiful color that they have.
And this is just like the beginning of talking about farmers market. The Hardwood Park is coming online that is a block from Ruibel's that is going to be absolutely amazing. There is Main Street Park, which is about 3 blocks away over more into the core of downtown. And there's so much outdoor space in and around the farmers market area that maybe you don't want to go hustle and bustle through the shed, but there's a lot to do in this neighborhood.
It also backs right up to the Cedars, and there's some really iconic places over there. Lee Harvey's just opened a pool over there that's really amazing. The other thing too is it's right up against Deep Ellum. So you're really, when I used to live over on Manette, I used to call it epicenter adjacent. This is truly in the epicenter. I mean, it is all right there. We didn't even talk about downtown. So yes, if you're looking for a place that is easy to live and great to walk in, you definitely check out our listing. It's at 573 South Chavez Boulevard, and it is an amazing. Look at the first part of the show, and you'll be able to see all the highlights that we went over and take a look at it.
So we hope you found this helpful, hope you found it interesting. If there are any other parts of town that you'd like us to talk about, any other subjects we'd like to cover in the second segment, we'll be happy to do it.
And just remember, we want to be a realtors for life.
When you're ready to talk real estate, you can reach us online, by phone, or by text at 214-377-2223.
And remember, we want to be realtors for life.